Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2 The Shadow and the Blade, where we are about to have to defend Boilrolk's settlement garrison army against Grombrindle the White Dwarf. Do I want to do this? Do I want to actually even... You know what, I think we're just going to take the auto here. I guess I could play this... We could play this out and try to destroy the catapults, I suppose. I'm going to take the auto-resolve. We're not going to fight this guy until we can put a real army up against him anyway. Let's just go ahead and... Oh, actually, the settlement garrison did a little bit more damage than I was expecting. It's a shame that wasn't one of those occasions where he decided to just sack the place, because his army would have been out in the open and quite vulnerable. I still don't think that's a thing worth doing. Alright, I think that if we can get these dwarves under control in the south, things are going to be so good for us for such a long time. It's just going to be like accomplishment after accomplishment. We're going to be posting high scores, and it's just a matter of actually getting things under control. Wait, what was that? Oh, my ambush was foiled. He approached and we failed to get the ambush, and he backed up afterward, I guess, after he saw us. Also, he critically failed to assassinate Obside, which is a little bit of karma. He betrayed us, and now he has betrayed himself with his incompetence. What do you want, Vashtar? No. No, thank you. We're allies enough, okay? Alright, so they assaulted our garrisons. They made us look like a fool. This guy ran out of movement, I guess, after he tried to come at us. So there's real good odds that if we attack him, we're just going to get the ambush and instantly kill him, right? Let's hope. Yeah, we got it. A manual resolution would not have seen us lose so many storm vermin. Got ourselves a foul pendant that I don't think we even want to equip on anybody. I think we have such good defensive stuff already. Let's pick up Lightning Strike, and we've almost got Renowned and Feared here. His army is still very expensive, even with the cost reductions that we've managed to pick up already. Alright, let's finish Brittle Bone. So now we have the full improvement on it, and unfortunately, we're just barely not going to be able to reach that army, huh? Well, we can just take Castle von Rocken, though. That'll leave us close to Gavril of the Ice, who I'm not really that afraid of. Honestly, the combined forces of these three armies probably cannot take Ikiclaw plus Infectique. So let's go ahead and do this thing. Let's march hard over to Castle von Rocken, and then... it's also important to remember that Clan Wars is here, and they are willing to fight the Reichlanders, but not the Kislevites. So they might help, but it's hard to know exactly how much. And this will be a completely trivial victory. Although it does look like Infectique's not planning to help. No, okay, he showed up. And yeah, we're going to get to kill Karl Franz for free here, which is nice. Alright, Ostland is Skaven once again. Ooh, and another Assault of Stone Scroll. Those are actually really good. I'm not sure which thing we want to improve first. Hold on, let's do this. Let's do this thing first. So I probably want to finish improving Armor of Darkness. Skitterleap just doesn't... I don't know. Skitterleap doesn't seem all that good. Oh no, you know what I should finish improving first, actually, is Warp Stars. Okay, so we have... I was gonna try to... I want to reposition him, but like... Oh no, sorry, it's giving me the change units cursor rather than the move cursor, because I had the hero selected. He would have just moved out of the army. Alright, I want to hide behind the settlement here. I don't want them to be able to attack Infectique by himself. They have to come through this way. Okay, so in this province... Obviously, getting Wolfenburg upgraded quickly is important because it has a gold mine, and we do care about that a lot. And I'm thinking that Castle von Rocken is not going to get defenses up quickly no matter how we do this, because, you know, it's just going to take too many turns. The main defense for Castle von Rocken is going to be the thousands and thousands of Skaven that are hanging out nearby. So let's do some of that. And then we are actually just a little bit negative on cash. We want to make sure that we're checking our treaties, because at some point Clan Pestilence is probably going to recapture a dock, and as soon as they do, we want to reinitiate that trade agreement. These guys don't hate me. I wonder if we could get... No, they don't have a dock or anything, so the only thing we could do for them is give them a defensive alliance, which obviously we don't want to do. Alright, so we're maximized on trade. We're just low on cash. Obviously, we're expanding and stuff. We're going to keep building up and producing money-making buildings in various places. Hopefully, we can solve this problem. Vomik and Hadar, I have no idea what you guys are doing. Hold on. They were going to Krugenheim. That's what they were doing. And there was an army there. There's still an army there. Well, I don't think we let that deter us. Does this army have... They do not have any siege stuff. They do have a whole bunch of knights, which is definitely worrying. We have Eshin Triads, but no Halberd Stormvermin. We're just going to have to gun them down. Well, guns we have. Hold on, encircle. Let's let the rest of the guys catch up here. I'm always really uncomfortable when the income number is red, even if it's like an amount that's obviously not a problem. Just like I feel insecure, man. So we're going to be able to pressure Mordheim and Essen with these armies in theory, provided that there aren't a bunch of Kislevites like just south of Needling or something. So yeah, the men of the Empire are on their last legs. These are the final days of Karl Franz's rule. We should probably do this manually, I think. They have a lot of guns. We have a lot of catapults. Yeah, this is going to be fine. We want to probably bring in food. Let's make sure we do this as quickly as possible. And movement speed up, but melee defense down. Sure seems like the kind of thing you put on some Jezzails. Okay. I'm worried that we would take too much damage here if we did it. If we auto-resolved it. These armies have to remain relatively strong because we don't have good information on enemy movements in their area. There could be 2 full Kislevite stacks nearby, right? Okay, a map with a lot of obstructions is probably better for them than it is for us. But we can just, like, hide down here at the back near the break in the trees. Hopefully our reinforcements will come in pretty close to the middle and not, like, in the corner of the map. I think I positioned them such that that should be the case. Nope. They come in the corner. Well, we'll live with it. Okay, so... Catapults back, gun teams. Ooh, these homes are going to provide cover, though, aren't they? So maybe the gun teams want to be more like this? And then we just... Man, I really don't like abbreviating our line of sight. These trees are in horrible locations. What we could do instead is just set the whole army up over here and try to... Boy, they're going to have stuff to approach us behind, no matter how we do this, though. That's really crummy. Because we want the horses to have to run over open territory to reach us as far as possible, right? If we were to set the gunners up right here. That does give you a pretty short line of sight there. We actually would probably put the Jezzails, like, back behind, and because this is a little hill, right? Yeah. So we would grab you two, set you up across the front of the hill, and then you guys a little further up. I think that should work. They should be able to... Yeah, they should be able to see over that. I don't love it, but I do think it's better than setting up back here. Because at least, like, some of their units are going to come through. They're not... Frankly, the AI is not smart enough to run all their units through the trees the way they ought to. Catapults, in order to not be shooting into the backs of the trees, we'll use this as cover, and then we can stack up our triads and melee units like this. So we are right in front of the catapults, and we are ready to... you guys should probably be a little bit closer here. Try to be ready for that cavalry charge. We know that there's a ton of cavalry incoming. Then Vomik himself is up here. The Warlock Engineer is a place where his ballistics calibration will affect those guys. We have one unit of mortars that probably also goes right about here. Yeah, alright. Maybe these guys go out to the side a little bit more. In fact, the Doomflayers can Vanguard deploy. Let's use them to get vision of the enemy. And then those guys come in behind us, and hopefully we'll be able to move up into defensive positions quickly. I am fully willing to lose a ton of Skaven slaves on this to defend our actual good units. Alright, unfortunately we have 2 Warlock Engineers as our casters here, which means we have no... we do not have even a single Arcane Conduit, so we're going to have pretty limited winds of magic. Trying to make sure that we have vision of these guys. They're going to try to shoot me, which I don't obviously like very much, but at least we're getting some good firing time. Okay, like I'm saying, let's get all of you dudes, not the Stormies, right up to here. Storm Vermin we're going to keep in reserve a little bit more, because they're potentially a little bit more valuable. Poisoned Wind Mortars to, I don't know, hereabouts, something. And then gun teams in this area, and we'll figure out your actual positions once you arrive. And that just leaves like 2 catapults still incoming from this army, I think. Yeah, catapult team... Come on. There we go. One thing that I think would help a lot with how annoying it is to command reinforcements is if the reinforcement units were just... if their cards were visible immediately. No, go around this way, go around this way. So that you could at least issue those orders right away. Okay, that's not a smart play from them. I see what they're trying to do, but it didn't really work. Okay, I'm going to use a charge of rats right now just to keep the enemy from moving too far forward. This will serve as a distraction for a moment for at least a couple of those units. Alright, let's start pressing some buttons here. Now that we have proper vision of the enemies, we can lay out some ballistics calibration, try to get as accurate a shot as possible. Fire you into those handgunners. You also have your Doom Rocket. Can you fire into... yeah, probably into these handgunners, right? We're probably going to want to start looking at Warp Lightning and stuff soon. He has already arrived, and I don't know exactly what we want to do with him yet. Probably, actually, what I want to do is he should be over here. I'm gonna rotate the guy on the mount over this way, and we're gonna have him sweep into some of these ranged. We gotta try to get the Empire Knights engaged first, though, because Lance Cavalry are pretty good against large units. And then the gun teams... okay, the gun teams are in position here, so... they're almost in position here. Let's move these Skaven slaves back so that their bodies aren't blocking. Move this unit of Jezzails back up the hill a little bit. I don't know. We just got to try to get them into a place where they can actually fire. Once we see the Doom Rockets go off, we'll start dropping like Warp Lightning and stuff. Okay. First of all, Yeah, like that. Secondly, these guys can... Ooh, do I want to charge halberds? Is that a good idea? I think what I might do here... I might just charge in this direction, and we'll see if we can spook them. Let's make sure that Vomik steps up here. And actually, we can start moving some of the melee up to here, at least. I'm trying very hard not to block any gun line of sight here, but we can move up and just sort of like narrow their fire a little bit. This is like a weird version of the checkerboard pattern. I keep a lot of my melee in reserve for the moment, but let's have some of these mortars start focusing in this direction. Maybe a little bit of catapult fire in this direction as well. Because we have a lot of stuff aimed at those guys over there. Yeah, here. Okay. Trying to make sure everybody's doing a useful thing. We have a lot of bodies out here, so it's real easy to forget about some people. Okay. Pretty good lightning, if I do say so myself. Halberds coming forward right as the knights move in. Worked out pretty well. Not halberds, but crummy, terrible spear troops coming in right as the knights move forward. And this would also be a good time for me to just put in some additional bodies here. Doom wheels, charge there. Some of those horses got through into the guns. So we got to make sure that we are moving triads forward as well to try to chop that problem up as quickly as possible. We can have these gunners fall back a couple of steps, probably safely. And unfortunately, we're done spellcasting for like a while now. What we are not done with is fireballs. So let's make sure that these gunners are focusing on horses as much as possible. You guys should be focused on those horses. If we break the 5 units of Empire Knights, the fight's completely over. That's the only thing these guys really have going for them. Alright, it looks like this side is shattering pretty quickly. Without us even bringing dudes up. I mean, that's the power of all this gun, right? All of this gun. Alright, good work. Way to apply a small amount of damage to that guy. Now get out of there. Oh, sorry, this is Vomik. I'm getting all confused as to which lord I have selected. Okay, we're gonna need some help over here. We get a turn on that. Alright, the vastly superior firepower that we brought with us. Who needs to learn how to treat who needs to learn how to breed horses and ride horses? It seems like a lot of trouble. Have you considered building an explosive? What if instead of a horse, you just rode a bomb into battle? Really excellent work from everybody there. I want to see the kill counts on the other army. Because right, the gun units in this army are artificially always at rank 9. I want to make sure that we're getting good XP on our newly hired gun units. They managed to move into position pretty early in the battle. I think they should probably have gotten a bunch. I'm going to get all of our ranged units up to rank 7 as quickly as possible so that they can benefit from the significant red line skill that I think that Warlord has. I'm going to be honest with you. We have enough Lords running around now that I don't exactly remember who's got which skill points where. Alright, nice and clean and easy. I am not going to spend food on this, I don't think. Well, you know what? Krugenheim's going to be at the front of the battle for a while. Maybe it would be a good idea to have that built up. Alright, so here in Krugenheim... Oh, interesting. It has a bell already. I'm going to remove this growth building. We're going to start building the defensive structure. But I think I want to keep the bell. Because I really, really, really don't want to have to fall back. Hit points versus melee defense. Let's go... If I think he's going to end up on a bone breaker, and I do, I think I maybe value the hit points a little bit more, because like the primary threat to him is not going to be people's melee defense. It's going to be him getting shot with 10,000 arrows. And it turns out arrows are not melee, under most traditional conceptions of the word. Let's just fill your army back up. You guys are fine. Needling is part of Stirland, which is not... Oh, also Needling's about to suffer a rebellion. We might not actually even have to deal with that. Alright, Obside, just harass these dudes. Or, you know, give it the old college try at least. You should be scouting ahead over here, because we need to know... I'm sure that there are Reichland armies forming back here, right? Because they have nowhere else really to hire them. So we want to make sure we know what's ahead before we advance in that direction any further. In Erengrad, we definitely want to take this upgrade. This thing is giving... It gives growth, but it's a pretty insignificant amount of growth. Man, I wish we had gotten Zoishenk. Ooh, we definitely want to take an upgrade on Marienburg. It's pretty important that we get that capped out. Let's also make sure that we're constructing some money-making buildings here. And I probably should stop spending money at that point. So let's talk about the armies in the south. Herrick Buftar is a problem. So's this. This whole situation's a problem. Ungrim Iron Fist has a real army, not just 20 units of miners. And now he's able to hide behind some walls. Okay, I'm not sure what we're going to do with Remamute. With these armies down here, it's a little bit more obvious. You are going to get the hell out of that swamp. Just barely. And you are probably just going to fall back and assist him marching forward out of that swamp. I don't think we want to separate Bilefitch and send him out by his own. Bilefitch's army is going to be a really good reinforcement army. He's going to be able to show up from the edge of the map and help very quickly. Stunkritch will be the meat of that advance. And since we have two armies coming out here now, do we even need Remamute to move south anymore? Unfortunately, we probably can't have him move south safely, right? He needs to go somewhere. He needs to be somewhere where he can keep Ungrim Iron Fist from advancing and maybe occasionally put down a rebellion at Faldorf, because there's a lot of those going around. So I guess he is where he is going to be. Then we're going to go to the workshop and build ourselves a Doom Wheel booster. We only have one character who's actually mounted on a Doom Wheel. Yeah, let's take this. Alright, got ourselves a modulated Doom Wheel assembly kit. I am not sure who we're going to be able to equip that on. Obviously it's a Lord item, but it might not be available to all Lords. Was it an enchanted item? Yeah. It might only be available on what do you call it? Warlock type, or engineer type Lords. Well, I guess we do have a use for this foul pendant. Sword of Anti-Heroes is a self-damage buff, which is probably not what we're really looking for on this wizard. Shrieking Blade might make people back off of him sometimes, which is probably good if they actually get up on him. I think that might be where we're at. Just wave your sword at them, and when it screams a whole bunch of times, they'll want to go elsewhere. I would want to be anywhere other than near the screaming sword. And then give you a potion of healing, and Scroll of Leeching is not that powerful because we tend to control enemy casters through assassinations pre-battle. He gets the Assault of Stone thing. Of course he does. It's wonderful. And then just a bunch of crappy banners. Well, that's a shame. Okay, no, we do have some we do have some legitimate followers. I thought followers usually sorted to the top. We probably don't need the +5 growth in the local region thing, though. Well, you know what? Honestly, our armies are spending a lot of time in our own lands, and a lot of the banners that we have are not actually very good. I will take the Banner of Eternal Flame, and... Jeez. Is it a Banner of Verminous Scurrying for his gun or siege units? A lot of dwarves are... I think dwarves are resistant to... You know what? That might help. We might be able to make something out of that. Make one of the units of Storm Vermin very scary. Maybe just, like, keep enemies from wanting to engage with them. And then I think that's actually everybody, right? Balfitch moved. Remamute is not going to move. Staden is almost back. He's going to get assassinated again immediately, almost certainly. And here we're having public order issues. Really need to get one of those going. Well, that sounds like a next turn kind of problem. We'll finance it with the gold from fighting all these dwarves, you know? I'm hoping Ungrim Iron Fist just tries to run out through the mountain pass and we get to ambush him. That would make my life a lot easier. And as for the army at Carrick Buftar, I don't know. I don't know what we even want from them. I was really hoping that we were going to see Clan Moors do a little bit more anti-Reichland action there. Not just like move a couple armies south and then pass the turn. There are so many humans. Don't you want to kill the humans? Why did you guys even come up here? Actually, like for real, why did you guys even come up here? Okay, that's interesting. They do have some stacks. Huh. I was not prepared for them to have... So what they've done here is they sieged the city to keep Ikit army out of the battle, and then attacked us. I do still think that this is kind of nonsense. If the army that is sieging the city participates in the battle, the army that they're holding down by sieging could also participate in the battle. They could just follow them. But this means Infecteek's army is just dead, right? We have no way of surviving this battle. Well, let's do our best. Let's do what damage we can do. This might be a Doom Rocket kind of situation, depending on how they group up against us. We can probably do a significant amount of damage here. That Hellstorm Rocket Battery is going to be a problem. And the Reinforcement Army is mostly steam tanks, which might or might not actually be super dangerous to us, kind of depending on how quickly the rest of the battle unfolds and how they approach. If we're able to just train the Warp Lightning Cannon and the 2 units of Rattling Gunners on them, then we'll handle them. This is going to solve our money problem, I'll say that. Infecteek is... Is he immortal? I think he's immortal, but Toxer isn't. Is that right? Man, losing Toxer at this point when he's so developed, that's actually super frustrating. Alright, well... We don't really have a strategy other than just, like, be far away. I guess it would be best if we didn't give them time to group up, but we can't realistically stop them. Even if we played as far forward as possible, if they just play back. Yeah, so we find the position where we will have the best open shot against them. And I think it might be up here. How's this terrain look? You know, the slopes are actually kind of awkward, like this weird bump in the middle. It might be best if we were just shooting at them uphill. If we set up down here in the corner. As long as the terrain is a level gradient, as long as it doesn't have a lot of like weird ridges. Yeah, okay, I think this is it. Make them come to us. Alright, gun teams here. Mortar guys. And then we can put a small number of melee troops nearby, but like we're pretty doomed here. This army is not in good shape either, which is certainly not going to help. Oh, that's right. These guys have Vanguard deployment. I can play them a little smarter. Yeah, I think Infectique is like level 25 or something, and he will survive this, but everybody else in this army is mega dead. Okay, you guys just don't be over there. Be over here. Okay. Let's see if we can bait them into something foolish, but we're gonna... This is gonna take several minutes of in-game time before they even decide to come far enough forward to be shootable, I think. Let's play this battle at super fast forward mode. Gotta use the Doom Flayers to keep an eye on them. And of course, as ever, we gotta watch out for an opportunity to drop clan rats on their rocket battery. I don't think that we are going to have a good opportunity, because they're going to be positioned such that they could just steam tank, right? Like they just turn the steam tanks around. Yeah, if we put those guys down now, they just get immediately killed by steam tanks. So we'll keep an eye on it. Where's the edge of our... The edge of our firing range is like way back here. Just want to make sure that we are keeping vision of the enemy. You know what? Actually, they've separated quite a bit here. Let's try this. Steam tanks are thinking about turning around. They got some guys turning around. I think those guys are a little far out, though. And not like in the good way. Alright, the edge of our catapult ranges, they're approaching. Steam tanks shouldn't be able to hit me here. I think once we get a little bit behind the hill. My unit's morale is breaking already, despite the fact that there's nothing happening to them. And they're winning the fight they're engaged in. Although, honestly, they're not winning it by that much. Alright. Oh, gosh. Right. Let's just try it. That was pretty alright. Just trying to make sure that our catapults have some targeting information. It turns out very few resources on the battlefield are more valuable than intel. You guys are not in fire at will mode. You will wait until I've given you an explicit fire order. Alright. Cavalry part of the battle is the most dangerous part of the battle. Fortunately, they're grouping up really nicely. Why aren't you guys shooting? You definitely have targets. Okay, the enemies are close enough that we should probably, like, cast some spells at this point. I'm going to shoot a fireball. It looks like we don't really need to worry about these guys anymore. Let's just shoot some garbage at these enemies over here. And actually, am I going to do one of these? We have no idea what's up with the... Those guys are dead, right? Like, that weapons crew, the ballistics crew, they're done for. I don't have to worry about them. Where's my lord? Okay, he's over here, hidden behind the flag of the Plague Claw catapult. Let's have him run out to this side. I don't want to run to the side all the guns are on. Hopefully, the reasons for that are pretty obvious. Let's do Black Whirlwind here. Came right out to that. That cavalry unit recovered very quickly. Like, pretty much immediately. Those guys did break and run, right? I'm not imagining that. Also, they should be running again at any moment now. That should be a thing that's happening. Let's... Riddled Bone's probably not actually a good move here. We might actually just want to wait for... No, we shouldn't wait for Black Whirlwind again. We should fire some Warp Stars. You guys should work on... It probably is full cavalry focus until all the cav are dead, and then we can worry about other stuff. Give you your own buff. You guys need to get back on your guns, because that cavalry unit... I mean, that cavalry unit should not even be in here. Leadership for the enemies. It works in such a frustrating way sometimes. Oh, you know what we can do with you? After you hit your spell, we can Assault of Stone some guys. Also, we got some Warp Fireballs available. The runners are going to have to get involved, even though they're not really in a good position to do so, because it's just going to have to be how that is. Okay, we still have 3 functional warp cannons. It must be expected that no one's making it out of this alive, so as much of a bummer as that is, it doesn't really make sense to try to hold troops in reserve and stuff. Like, let's commit. Let's shed some blood here. You guys, what is your best use going to be? Harassing enemy ranged, probably. So I guess run up this way, and we'll figure out exactly what to do with you later. And you... Rivalhide Talisman is not yet, but soon. Just need a Warp Fireball. Then it looks like Assault of Stone over here. Almost got this cavalry unit down. Our warlord turn around and go fight some dudes. Actually, those guys are anti-large. Fight this lord who is nearby. Keep you guys on flamethrower mode. Okay, we're doing some alright damage here. Looks like we did catch these dudes, so let's have you guys... There's a unit of Reiksguard that has to get dealt with. What are my gunners doing right now? Okay, that's gotta happen. Those Reiksguard are gonna crush us otherwise. You're gonna have to just run up and hit the Rivalhide Talisman, probably. Do we have a good... Yeah, we totally do have a good Whirlwind location. Do that. Man, I wish we had more Doom rockets. I wish we were allowed to fire multiple Doom rockets per battle. I wish we had a whole bunch more. If we could kill their lord, that would be pretty good here. I don't think it's going to happen, but that would definitely be cool. We're trying, though. Giving it our all. See, stuff like this, where the flamethrowers just elected not to fire there while the enemies were charging them, that makes my life a lot more difficult. I wish that stuff like that wasn't happening. And even more rats. There we go. Okay. Those guys are dead now. You guys have to come help with this. Actually, yeah, shoot your flamethrower at their lord. You guys shoot all your guns at their lord. Let's get that guy dealt with. Oh, they ran out of catapults. The enemy has steam tanked all of my catapults on this side. Well, that's hard to deal with. Actually, maybe these guys should go here. These guys should try to finish those ones off. You guys are not in guard mode. Absolutely chase your target. A lot of the enemies disappeared by the time I was able to get over here to do Rivalhide Talisman stuff to them. So yeah, if we can get rid of Berthold Bratch, then we've actually done a lot of damage to their stuff that is good at getting up on us. We can start turning the gunners toward the steam tanks, which is like bad. That's a bad time. Also, they did in fact survive and run back to their Hellstorm rocket battery, and all of the rocket battery, there are enough guys there to operate the whole thing. That's a shame. Alright. Poisoned wind mortars. Fire at this cluster of guys. We're not going to win, but this is actually closer than I thought it was. I thought it was going to be. Okay, we're getting that damage in. He's taking it. You guys are supposed to be helping. I don't really know what to do with a catapult crew. Don't have any catapults. Like that's a tough position. Okay, the Lord's nearly dead. He'll be dead soon. Go fight those guys. Keep them off of me. Okay, we got some wavering going on here. They're not doing so hot. Get some panic. Now keep in mind, localized panic. Don't get too excited. The steam tanks are still at full morale. But if we can back their melee troops off of us, that would be a pretty significant victory. That would give us our only hope of ever dealing with the steam tanks. The only melee troops around here to charge into are guys who are holding anti-large weapons. Is that unit of, where are those horses? Are they actually dead now? Did we finally finish the horses? I think we did. Okay, we need flamethrower fire. That's how we're going to solve this problem. And we are unfortunately going to charge our large units into their anti-large units for the moment, just because somebody's got to kill these dudes. Alright, start focusing on their Hunter Lord. That guy's got to stop existing. Alright, we got some good permanent breaks happening. Also some less permanent breaks, so let's try to make sure that we're staying on those. And our Lord is like just good enough of a fighter, or our wizard is just good enough of a fighter to be able to do stuff like that safely. Don't let them get away. Okay. So all of the catapults are completely dead. That's a crying shame. And their steam, they've done a really good job of keeping their steam tanks in a position where their indirect fire projectiles are really effective against us. Okay, some guys unbreaking and re-breaking. We're doing some okay damage here. I still think we have absolutely no solution for the steam tanks. We literally don't have enough ability to deal damage to kill these steam tanks. Do we have anybody else down here who could, oh, you guys. You guys can come help with this. Let's do some warp fireballs, and we're gonna do our best. This guy is hard to hit with bullets, is what I'm learning. Alright. Gun teams, refocus. Not interested in engaging in melee with the steam tank, obviously. It says good against armor, strong versus a single unit. Let's try some warp stars against him. This did not fire, right? I'm gonna cut across here and we're gonna... Okay, he fired the warp stars eventually. Get back on that lord. You gotta get over here. Make brittle the bones of this steam tank. Okay, flamethrowers are finally firing. They're very... It's very difficult to get them to actually shoot at stuff. One of you go deal with that, please. Okay. Okay, those guys are permanently broken again. Oh, the rocket battery. Here's what we're gonna do. Infectique has this guy under control. I need you guys. Okay. Almost have another steam tank down. Yes, recover. Alright. They're working on it. They're trying to get him. Back on that lord, I guess. You guys start working on this. You know, to be perfectly honest, I don't think it's impossible that we could like morale break them the rest of the way. The steam tanks are tough, but they're the only thing about this army that still even exists. And they don't really have any bullets left. Okay, those guys are permanently broken. You lot need to come back in a kind of an indirect way. Our Rattling guns, remember, have infinite ammunition. They have constantly regenerating ammunition, I should say. So, like, they can run out, but they will unrun out eventually. Okay, enemy lord finally died. No, sorry, don't belay that order. Please do not run over to melee the tank. I know what I said, but listen to what I'm saying now. Do not melee that tank. We're running pretty low on ammunition in the Warp Lightning Cannon, which definitely has me worried. The Warpfire throwers, like they fire like a single volley of Warpfire every 40 seconds, it feels like. It only affects melee attack. We're so close. You guys are out of ammunition. As soon as they're like, oh wait, that wizard's back, let's get him. Get off of him. I'm gonna brittlebone that thing, I think. Oh, he gave up. We're so close. We're so close. Yo, if we actually survived this somehow, this would be an incredible outcome. Why is it still alive? Oh, you guys ran out of bullets. Okay. Well, they are supposed to have infinitely regenerating bullets, so I'm going to give them a moment here. Yep, okay, their ammo bar reappeared. It is literally going to be the case that they survive because of a single steam tank. We're going to kill everything else in their army. Alright, everybody. Not a lot else to it. Sure wish we still had I sure wish my wizard hadn't fled the field. Actually, hold on. You guys wait. Hold on. You guys should go ahead and attack the tank. Let's have the melee troops... We're gonna try to bog it down little bits at a time, because it's not impossible that the Rattling guns could slowly, over time, regenerate enough ammunition to make this work, right? As long as it takes long enough for the steam tank to kill us. You guys are in skirmish mode now. Run if you gotta run. We will have to keep telling the Rattling guns to retarget, because every time they run out of ammunition, they're losing their targeting information, it looks like. But this, we might actually make it. Maybe. Maybe. I do hate how much my units are like, how eager my units are to give up, even when nothing about the situation has changed for the worst. If the steam tank was ever smart enough to just drive directly toward the Rattling guns, this battle would be over immediately. Warfire throwers actually have kind of a lot of ammunition left, too. Wait for their ammo bar to reappear. Guys, get driving. I don't want to move him far enough. I don't want to move so that he's not in the leadership aura range of those guys anymore. I'm going to turn off skirmish mode. We need you to do what you're told. Exactly when you're told to do it, which is a problem that we sometimes have. Uh-oh. I may have given him the keys of the kingdom here. I said that thing about driving at the Rattling guns out loud, and he heard me. Trying to distract it. Come on. Come on. Oh, there's gonna be some Rattling friendly fire on that one. So get in there, grind up the wheels. Whatever you have to do, make it stop moving. I need these Warfire throwers to... Actually, I should turn off guard mode. That's probably part of what's causing the problem. They don't feel that they should chase the thing. No. If the Rattling guns... Oh, if the Rattling guns go off the map, we're in really bad shape. Come on, regain. We gotta keep him over here. Come on, his leadership aura's on them. Just come back. Just come back. Ah, damn it. Well, that's it then. We probably don't have the ability to win this anyway. That's so frustrating. So incredibly frustrating. You have just a tiny little bit of ammunition left, huh? Leadership. Around, you cowards. Oh, it worked! I should yell stuff at my units more often. You guys need to deliver your final volley. My units are so tired. It's so hard to get them to move. You know, he hit it. He did some damage there. Alright, shoot it. It has 1,200 health left. Never mind, we're not actually close. Well, I'll tell you what. Ikit Claw's not in very much danger. We completely shattered these guys. Come on, you know you want to come back. You know you want to come back. Alright. Well, I'm losing ground, am I? Thank you. That's very useful feedback. Well, that is in fact the most valiant defeat I have ever witnessed from Skaven. And like, look at the numbers on that. That's incredible. It is unbelievable that we performed that way. If I had noticed the steam tanks focusing on the catapults earlier. And is there something I could have done? Maybe. There were definitely, like, I was not microing Toxer optimally. He maybe could have been doing warp stars at the tanks earlier. Like that, I went into that with the mindset that it was going to be a total rout and we were just going to try to do what damage we could there. But that was actually winnable. And if I had regarded it as winnable from the very beginning and played a little bit more tightly, like, we could have done that. We could have actually done that. Now we're going to lose a high-rank caster because I didn't. But thankfully, Infectique himself will be available again. They're super spent, though. Like, they're mega dead. Ikit Claw is going to take sweet vengeance upon them. I lost my Talisman of Preservation. That's a shame. That's a really good item. You know, it doesn't say killed in battle, but it also doesn't say wounded. Where the hell is my wizard? I assume he wasn't level 20, right? I don't think so. So he was killed in battle, it just for some reason didn't pop up a thing for him. Maybe it will at the beginning of our turn. That is a little bit of a shame. Like, it's good that we totally broke Reichland. It'll be super easy for us to finish that job up now. But it is a little bit of a bummer in terms of keeping Kislev at bay. Like, Ikit Claw by himself is definitely in a lot more danger. Staden's back. We got a Bell Polisher for some reason. Wow, we got... What on earth? Hold on a second. Are they equipment? 1, 2... Why did this happen? What on earth is going on? So, Lords and Heroes... Infectique's in the wounded pool. Erat's in the wounded pool. Yeah, we did not get a report of the death of our wizard or of him being wounded, or he just evaporated. He no longer exists. As though he never had. That's something. Okay. This is a terrible move on their part. We can probably pretty easily clean this up. Making sure you're close enough. You should come over here and assault these units. Or not. You know, give it a shot at least. Okay. Man gets it done. Really? We didn't get an ambush. That's a shame. Well, we probably don't need one. Ooh, that's ugly. I would really like an ambush. Alright. Well, we didn't get one, so we're just going to have to deal. But this is probably a pretty good way to start the next episode. I think it is actually very likely that we are going to finally and permanently break Reichland next episode. Probably mostly right at the beginning. So, that is going to be it for us for today. But come back next time when we get vengeance for Toxer. Final vengeance upon these man-things. And we'll see you then.